Hello and welcome. I have felt to do this. My birth father was an actor, child actor, and up to his teen years, and he was a really good friend of Natalie Wood. And so I thought this would be kind of fun. I've not done this before. If I could ask my birth father, Bobby, and Natalie Wood to come forward, and they are here. So who wants to speak first? Natalie will speak first. She has had a little hard time with this board. So, Natalie Wood, welcome. You're welcome. She says yes and thank you. And I told her I really didn't want to talk about her death. I wanted to talk about her life and kind of her life with my birth father. He, W-A-S, was A-M-A-Z-I-N-G. He was an amazing actor. Yes. He was. Yes. He did not receive. He did not receive the opportunities that I did. Yes. She's moving really fast, so I'm just going to basically finish her sentence for her because I can hear her. Bobby was with her in the TV show Pride of the Family. Yes. I-L-O-V. I loved his Jokes. I loved his jokes. He was funny. Yes. Very. M-A-D-E. He made me laugh. She liked men that made her laugh and made her happy. But I think while you were doing filming Pride in the Family, you were young, but you also were kind of going over and partying with Frank Sinatra. Yes. He intrigued me. Did you have relations with him? Yes. You were quite young. Yes. You were underage. Yes. B-U-T, but T-H-A-T, but that W-A-S was H-O-L-L. That was Hollywood. That was Hollywood. So, were you intrigued by him, even though he was quite a bit older than you? Because it gave you a step up. Yes. He helped you, yes, get famous. Yes. And I hear your mother was quite the mom behind the scenes. Yes. S-H-E. She was V-E. Very S-T. Strict. She was very strict. A-N-D. And very much a businesswoman to get you up in the upper scale of Hollywood. Yes. She's going yes, yes, yes. So, what else do you want to say? F O R G I B E. Forgive M-E. Forgive me. Yes. She's actually quieted down a lot. She was very excited and laughy, and her and my birth father were joking. Now all of a sudden she went really still, and she's very solemn. Forgive me. Who to forgive me? M. My. C. H-I-L-D-R-E. And her children. Why do they need to forgive you? B-E-C-A-U-S-E, because I-W-A-S. I was N-O-T, not H-E-R-E there. R-O-M. I was not there for them for a lot of the time of their growing up, yes. But when I was there for them, it was fun. Yeah. Hold on a second. So Robert Wagner was your husband, yes. Did you love him? S-O-M-E-T-I-M-E-S. So she loved him sometimes. Were you friends with Bobby during your marriage with Robert? Yes. F-O-R for T-H, the F-I-R-S-T for the first, M-A-R-R-I-A-G-E for the first marriage, T-O, 2-R-O, B-B-Y for the first marriage to Robbie. You call him Robbie? Robert, Robbie. Yes, she's circling around the heart. So she loved Robert Wagner sometimes, and she knew my birth father, Bobby, during the first marriage of Robert Wagner. So you guys divorced? Yes. And then your first marriage, did you remarry him? Yes. So you did get married to him, yes. So you married him twice? Yes. Everyone knows that, she says. Not me. I'm of a different generation. Of a different generation. Yes. M. It's very solemn. My D-A-U-G-H-T-E-R-S. My daughter's A-R-E-R-A-M-A-Z are amazing. My daughters are amazing. So I think you had 2 girls, yes? Yes. And she's telling me that she is still their mother, and she is watching over them. Okay, I'm gonna go off the board now. I really feel her hair. I really feel her quiet and solemn. All that fun part. I think Bobby just let her in, and now she just wants to talk. I feel a heavy heart with her. I almost feel to go to tears with her. I'll bring my recorder in closer because I know I'm talking quiet. She says she had a fabulous life. She couldn't have asked for anything more. She achieved her dreams. She worked hard for her dreams. She needed her dreams. She needed her dreams to become the confident woman that she portrayed herself to be, but she was not confident. She was constantly battling insecurities. Hold on. Even though she was so beautiful and had so many people around her telling her how beautiful she was, she kind of didn't believe it. She always felt there was other people better. Her mom was very strong. She loved her mother, but she also kind of just did what she was told. Her first and second happiness really was the birth of her children. She loved having them. She was very scared to have them. She was very scared to become a mother. She felt very insecure with Robert Wagner for the most part of her first marriage. I think she accepted his ways and him in the second marriage, and they just kind of made a pact on being a Hollywood marriage. It helped both their careers to stay together and look stable, which they weren't. They kind of had some separate lives, which when they came together, then they fought because of their insecurities and unstableness of their relationship. She said she felt bad that her daughters heard some of that fighting, even though they were so young. She didn't like to fight in the house where the kids were, but sometimes she just couldn't help herself. Sometimes she wasn't in her right mind. There's so much pressure on her. Hollywood puts a lot of mind pressure on you and they can mess with your mind. That's why a lot of us drank, did drugs, because we had to do some things we didn't want to do, especially women. She is telling the women of today in the Hollywood scene, not only Hollywood, all the news that are coming forth, to stay strong and keep doing this. This is an evolution, she said. This is much needed in this type of business, she said. She said they were not allowed to do that in her day because they would just destroy her if she talked. And she had to do many things that she didn't want to do. And she's saying my birth father, Bobby, he did some things he didn't want to do either in his young age. And it messed him up a lot, she said. He lived longer than she did, but she kind of got to a point where it just gets in your head and you just have a hard time dealing with the things that you had to do to get to where you are in that business, and the things that she had to put up with in her marriage. She thought she was safe in her marriage on the first time, and she wasn't. She thought she could trust him, and she couldn't. He had another life. And she had a hard time dealing with that. Because how do you compete against the other sex? You can't. Women cannot compete against the other sex in the field of love. So, because it's so out of ordinary and out of character in those days to know how to deal with that. It's not like these days. where you kind of can understand people's sexuality because it's been studied, it's out there. It wasn't out there when I was around. She's very proud of her daughters. When she talks of her daughters, she's just very quiet, very proud of them. Very motherly coming through when she talks of her daughters. She's glad that they are who they are, and they've had the children they've had, and the successes that they've had. Because even their tries are successes, she says. Might not feel like success, but it is, just because you did it. I understand you, she says. I get where you're coming from. You're strong. You and I could be friends, she says. You'd have to loosen up a little bit more, she says. Yeah. She says with your father, he was very funny. He was reserved. A lot of your reservedness comes from him also, and your artisticness comes from him. But he had a good sense of humor, and he had a good heart. He just wasn't allowed to use it. His mother was real strong and kind of strange. She wanted him in the business, but she wouldn't fight for him. My mom fought for me in the business. His mom just kind of let him do his own thing, but wanted to make sure that he had work. She wanted him to work in the business, which is hard when you're a baby to teenagehood, that your life is in Hollywood, in the business. And he had to do some things he didn't want to do. And he told me about some of the things that happened to him. I didn't tell him the things that happened to me, though. I couldn't speak of it. I couldn't let anybody know. Because it was, what if it got out? So I couldn't trust anybody. Except I trusted Robert Wagner, my first husband and second husband. I trusted him because I had to trust him, else I was going to die. I just felt like I just couldn't keep a lot of this stuff inside anymore. And our second marriage was just basically for Hollywood. We loved each other. We were like best friends. But we did have our own lives, you know. Then I just couldn't do it anymore. I just decided I wanted somebody stronger. I wanted strength. I wanted a man. So I found one. But I know you didn't want to touch on this, but that night, it was a strange night. I felt it in my heart. It was strange. There's a lot of strangeness to it. And I don't know. It was fate. That night was fate. It had to happen. It was my time. I'm not going to go into the details because it's really not anyone's fault. It's everyone's fault. All of us were at fault for my death. But you know what? It happened. I'm here. I'm happy. I miss my girls. But I can get as close to them as I dare. They know I'm there. A lot of times they know. They feel me. But it is what it is, and I wish people wouldn't go over it and over it and over it. because it just happened. It was just a fluke, a bad thing, a bad situation, volatile situation. There's anger, drinking, drugs, sex. It was all there. And I ran away. And then I just couldn't save myself. So I just wish people would stop. Let me go. Just let me go. Stop trying to make money on me. Stop trying to bring it up all the time. I do wish for it to go away. I'm happy. I'm with my mom. And I'm with some other family. And I just reflect my life. And as I reflect my life, I can't say that it wasn't unsuccessful. It was. Because I did everything that I chose I wanted to do. I did it all. And then I had children, which was another glorious step in my evolution on that earth. And then it was just time to come home. And it just happened to be a volatile situation that created my death. And it was just time. So just let everybody know, just to leave me alone. Leave my family alone. Stop dredging up my end of life. Remember, I was successful. I hit my goals. I did everything I promised I would do. I loved it. I loved being an actress. I loved the attention. I loved the actors. I loved the whole process of filmmaking. And I achieved so much. And I am so proud of myself for what I did and how I did it. Sure, there's a few mistakes along the way. Sure, there's things I had to do to get where I was. That's for myself to know what I did. So just tell them to leave me alone. Thank you for being here, Natalie. Okay, you guys, that is it. That was a new experience for me. And I knew that my birth father and Natalie Wood acted in several things together, from Miracle on 34th Street. He was in, and he met her there, and then they had a TV show together. So she is very sweet, very nice. But when they first came out, Bobby and her, they were laughing and giggling, and they were just giving each other a hard time. And she was moving so fast, and then she just took it down several notches, and it became very peaceful. And she just had a strong message to let everybody know that she did it her way, and I don't think she would have changed a thing. And she just loves her girls. Peace out.